So what I ended up doing, I don't have any 4x4s. I didn't feel like driving about an hour to go get some 4x4s, so I found some old wood that was up in the barn. And I found a little filler piece to fill up this plastic insert that was also laying in the barn. Thankfully, luckily for me, I had all this spare stuff just laying around in the barn, so it makes it a lot easier. So my plan is I'm going to take this concrete, going to mix it, going to stick this down in the ground. What I did was I screwed in some screws all the way around to kind of give the concrete something to anchor. So we're not going that deep, maybe about a foot, and then we're going to mount the boxes back on the posts where they need to be. So that's where we're at. So a lot of people would say, yeah, I would prefer to use treated wood, but I'm going to put something over this to protect water from getting up in there, because this is already old. This was not pressure treated before. I believe this is. So I'm just going to kind of coat this with something to protect it to give it a little bit longer. Plus it'll be inside this plastic housing, which will cause it to stand longer. Before, what happened is I put this up about 2 years ago, and I guess with the water down there around the pond, the wood, which was the same wood here, deteriorated because it was exposed to the elements and down in the ground without any protection around it. So that's where we're at. One thing you don't want to do when you're mixing cement like this is to add too much water, because it's easier to add water than to try to take it away. And this is probably not the best way to mix your cement, but for me, I'll mix it here in the bucket, and then when I get done, we'll rinse the bucket out, put it right back up. That's a lot easier. Like I said, a little bit of water at a time. But you see the consistency of it? That's about the consistency that you want. So just add a little bit of water at a time. Like I said earlier, it's easier to add water than it is to take water away, especially if you only have like one bag that you're working with. So as you can see, my box here rotted. So I gotta take it off of this and then dig a new hole. So let me get started here. So if you're wondering, this is the control box for the pond fountain. So I should probably be using a level to make sure it's level, but I'm not that worried about it. It's just for the sole purpose of mounting these two boxes down here. So all that's left to do now is take the dirt and then mount this boxes back onto I don't recommend working on things when they're hot, so to speak, but what I mean hot is I'm talking electrical. For those of you that aren't comfortable, hire a professional. I am not a professional, but I'm pretty comfortable with this kind of stuff because I've done it 1,000 times. Okay. The next thing is I have to remove this thing. Luckily for this one, the screw is right there. This one will be a lot easier than the outlet. And like I said before, if you're not comfortable messing with electricity, just shut the breaker off so that you're safe. I probably should have, but like I said before, I'm comfortable doing this. And this is just your weatherproof cover here. Get screwed in. Fountain that you see is what it operates. I just want to encourage you all, if you've never tackled a project, or you would be amazed at how simple it is to do a lot of the things around the house. You literally saw how long that took me. Thankfully for me, I had a couple of bags of concrete on hand from when I built my deck. Thankfully for me, I had some scrap wood laying around. So don't always get rid of stuff that you think is trash, because sometimes it'll come in handy. As you can see, I didn't have pressure treated wood, which is what I would have preferred. Thankfully for me, I was able to put that plastic around it, which will protect the wood for, I'm sure, a lot more than 2 years. So again, when it comes to the electrical, I'm comfortable with it. I didn't shut off the power. If you do that, make sure that you kick the breaker off so that you don't get shocked. But I didn't disconnect any electrical. All I did was go in and move the GFCI out of the way so I could get to the screws that would mount it to the wood. So I hope you guys found this video helpful, and if it was, please give it a thumbs up. Also subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of this amazing content that I'm putting out. I'm just joking, but seriously, I would appreciate it if you could subscribe. As always, I love you guys, and I will check you on the next one. Peace.